Hi everybody and welcome to the Predictions Game Week 32 results and summary. I'm here with Atul Jani.
Hello there pundits and welcome to another game week. Let's get straight into it.
Straight in indeed. Some good performances in Game Week 32, mate. We had, let's start with yourself, 100 points, mate. That's always good.
Yeah, bit of steady Eddie, but I think the gap is narrowing a little bit because everyone below is scoring well, and we will go on to the people who scored decently as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Steady Eddie indeed. But Joe, 155 points. That was a great performance as well. He's starting to do well again, I've noticed as well. Adam, 180 points. That is a phenomenal score. 3 50-point scores in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good score in itself, brings him up the table and makes it more competitive as well.
Absolutely. But we reserve the right to applaud Danny. 320 points with a Joker card.
Phenomenal.
Game week winner. Three exact correct predictions means double bubble on the Joker card. So that was 100 points each time. He had a brilliant game. Well done, Danny.
Yeah, well done. Round of applause there. Yeah, I mean, he just highlights another good game week, or rack up the points and you move up that table quickly.
Yeah, well, you say about moving up the table quickly because Danny, by his own standards, hasn't had a brilliant season. He's been doing well, but he hasn't hit the dizzy heights of you just yet. But after game week 32, he's risen 5 places, and if he has that momentum and carries that form ahead, you never know, AJ. He could really feature at the end of the season.
I agree with you, and that's the key word, momentum. If you get that momentum, you can see that surge up the table. Yourself, you were up and down, you had that momentum, you moved forward. Daniel, he had a phenomenal week, the momentum's still carrying on. Craig, to an extent, he petered out, but he's come back again. So
still there though, isn't he?
Yeah, there's some momentum as well. Conversely, it could be the other way around as well, but
Absolutely. Well, while we're waxing lyrical about Danny, we're going to continue on that theme because it didn't come out of nowhere. He had a fair amount of points, but he absolutely secured Manager of the Month with that Game Week 32 score. So well done again. Well done. Manager of the Month for Danny. So I think that's his first one. So excellent stuff. That's 25 bonus points to be collected at the end of the season. So 25 points here and there might make a difference.
And just even if pundits, when you have a look at the Manager of the Month table, it's quite open. Quite a few people have got Manager of the Month. So there's no one consistent person who's got it throughout the whole period. Right. So it shows it's an open game.
Absolutely. Now, also in Game Week 32, mate, we had, you and me got a vested interest because we're in the Predictions Cup still, aren't we? Yeah. Quarterfinals, leg 1. I'll talk about my own one. Tom slayed me 70 to 10. I had probably won my worst game week this season, and I was playing the Joker card, but Joker card points don't count in the Cups. But he's got a nice 60-point advantage going into the second leg, which is the very next game week, Game 33. But what about yourself versus Lee?
Yeah, it's a close fought affair, and I think I've just nudged ahead. But 20 points isn't really anything at the end of the day. I can have a horrible week, and Lee, all he needs to do is just even get one prediction right. This proves how close it is.
Well, you're absolutely right. Yeah, 100 points you scored compared to Lee 80, so 20 points. There's not a lot going into it. So
it's a slender margin.
Second leg will be interesting.
Yeah.
As will this one. This is the closest one we've got. Anton versus Daniel, 85 points versus 85 points. They're deadlocked.
Oh, can't separate them.
And it's Anton. Daniel had such good cup form. I tell you what, this is
a close one to call, isn't it? A close one to call.
I think being cheeky, in the last video you mentioned every tie being tied the round almost, but this one for sure. Yeah. You've got to say it. This is close.
Yeah, it's close. But at the end of the day, there's going to have to be one winner, and the person or / team goes through.
Absolutely, and don't forget as well, for those two players, Monil took on Adam, and Adam had a brilliant game week 32, and he's 180 points to 60 up. So he's got a 120 points difference there. So that's a nice cushion. But Monil's not out of it.
No, Monil is no mug.
Absolutely.
He's turned in performances when it needs to. When it comes to the business part, he can be a slippery customer. So Adam, be on your guard, mate.
No mug Monil, slippery customer. Anyway, that was the cup, and as we say, going into the very next game week, that is the second leg. So this time next week we'll announce the results of who's gone through to the semi-finals.
Yes, indeed. We shall find out who goes through to the semi-finals, and it's a bit of a tricky affair in that sense as well.
Absolutely.
So it's all to play for.
Absolutely. Now, you're still at the top, mate. How do you fancy your chances still at the moment of the league?
Well, I don't know. It's getting closer and closer when it gets towards the business end of the season. We've got 6 more game weeks left. Looking at the table, 170 points isn't really... I've been saying it throughout the season. I still think I can be caught.
Yeah, let's just get a live update there. We've got 170 points gap to Daniel, then 290 point gap to me following that terrible week. A little way back more is Craig at 355, but then in comes Danny at 670, and that sounds a lot, but like I was saying earlier, if we can keep that going, he's going to be well in the mix as well. So
yeah, two or three good game weeks like what he got, okay, he played the Joker, or it doesn't really make a difference because we've seen people scoring well without the Joker as well. So it's not impossible.
It really is the final furlongs coming up. To be honest, it's the start of that. You've got you've got another start of Manager of the Month. You've got the second leg of the Cup coming up in the next game week, which is game week 33. For those of you who've been following as well, the bonus points. It's the business end of the season, which means Leeds top scorer.
Yeah.
Now at the moment, I mean, Aguero's on 20, Costa's on 19, the same as Kane. No one's selected Kane. No one would have, to be fair. He's had a stellar season.
Yeah,
but
we never saw that one.
But lots of people got between Aguero and Costa, so there's bonus points going there. It's not finished yet, but just keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. Just picking up on those two, just very, very quickly before we move on to the next point. Costa's going to be out for a good few weeks, so that could impact. And Aguero isn't on firing form at the end of the day. Man City haven't been pulling the results.
They haven't, but even when they went down 4-2 to United, though, mate, he did get 2 goals. But I do agree with you, they are
fluid enough. But
they're misfiring at the moment, really.
Yeah, but we'll move on to game week 33.
Well, game week 33, mate, you're right. Pick out the big game and tell us what's really going to, where you see the points on that one.
Well, it has to be, without a shadow of doubt, the Chelsea-Man U game.
Massive game.
Chelsea, with an impressive victory against a resurgent Manchester United, could put one more hand on that trophy. The fingers have been in touching distance now. They can get a grip of that and pull away from the likes of Arsenal and Man City. Man United... they have really done well. They've been under the radar. They haven't performed well like everyone would have expected them to. They've got the results and they're third. At the end of the day, it's going to be a tricky one to predict, pundits. So I'm really going to sit on the fence with this one, and I can't say, I'm not completely impressed with Chelsea scoring ability. They're only doing enough just to get through, and I said this for the last game weeks, but. That aside, there is a few other good ones as well. You look at the Leicester-Swansea one. Swansea are no mugs. Leicester are resurgent.
Leicester one of the form teams at the moment.
Yeah, I mean another tasty one for me is the Crystal Palace West Brom. Palace are on firing form, but West Brom, Tony Pulis will be able to reorganise his defence. It'll prove a tricky situation for them.
Well, you've mentioned those ones there. I mean, Palace, Leicester, I mean, they've got great form. They're only just behind Arsenal with won the last 8 out of 8, which is fantastic form. Probably a little bit too late to catch Chelsea, but and then I find this as the last game to talk about here. Newcastle, Tottenham shot themselves in the foot at home against Villa, especially with Sherwood coming back there. But Newcastle need some points. They actually lost last night against Liverpool, but they had chances, and I think that could be a real kind of tasty affair.
It can be a tasty affair. I mean, Newcastle managers under pressure. Spurs, as much as I hate to say it, and apologies to any Spurs supporters, they do implode towards the business end of the season.
Absolutely.
They do perform well, but it all bodes for every single one of us pundits a very tricky prediction this week.
Well, indeed, and you've wrapped it up quite nicely as we come towards the end. And don't forget, in the real world of football, you've got the FA Cup semi-finals. So therefore, we do have a shortened game week in terms of the amount of teams playing, but they're all on the sheet. So have a look at that, make your predictions wisely, have a good week, and best of luck for game week 33, everyone.
Yeah, best of luck, and you've got to be in it to win it, guys.
Absolutely.